Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train Dragon podcast. I'm your host, HC, and with me are.
Rush 2112.
And Wolf.
And happy holidays to everyone listening. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating. We hope you have a lot of happy with it, but you know us, we're How to Train Dragon fans, which means we're also celebrating another kind of holiday, Snoggletog. Why they chose such a stupid name remains a mystery, but hey, it's a How to Train Dragon thing, and we're in the holiday spirit, I guess. So let's talk about it. What do you guys think of Snuggletug? With the exception of it premiering, like showing up first in everyone's favorite short, Gift of the Night Fury.
I really like the idea of Snoggletog, and I think it's really cool how Vikings have traditions too. Because you think about the old times, and they are a lot of traditionalists, and while they have you know after the movie they're fine with dragons, but do they keep? Are they gonna just change completely? Or are they gonna keep some of the old stuff? And it's nice to see that they do keep some of the old stuff.
I agree. Wolf, what are your thoughts on the matter?
I mean, it's Gift of the Night Fury, so you can't hate that, right? Like, it's. I don't think I've ever heard a single complaint about that short from anyone.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
I
if you
enjoy
put
it.
it in front of a theatrical film, everybody would start hating it.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah, like Rush said, like I think it's really cool that they decided to do something like that. It's definitely supposed to be like Christmas, but it's also nice that it's
Yeah,
kind of in the
I
mind
think the
of.
best thing about it is that they could have gone the easy way out and like make it Christmas, even though like you could say it doesn't make sense because it's not the time frame. Well, if the Flintstones can celebrate Christmas, every animated universe, no matter how old, can celebrate
Well, if you
Christmas.
want, if you want a bit of a history lesson, Vikings do have a kind of wintry holiday thing that they did celebrate called Yule or Yuletide.
Mhm. Yeah,
I can't.
but it is fun that they chose to make it something that stands out and not like you can obviously tell it's Christmas or it's supposed to be Christmas, but because
Hmm.
of all the snow and the presents and stuff.
The
But
giant wooden tree that's green and has decorations on it.
mm, I don't know about you, but I don't think people put shields on their trees.
It's decorations, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. You've never seen a Texan Christmas tree, have you?
Hmm.
No.
That has guns on.
Well, okay. I
I'm
know
just
if
kidding.
I'll
I'm.
ever celebrate Christmas, I know that I'm not going to do it in Texas.
I mean, I'm certain that you can have. I'm certain there are definitely Christmas ornaments that exist that look like shields for whatever reason.
Hmm.
I'm sure, I'm sure there, as I'm sure that there's a toothless Christmas decoration.
Most
Why,
likely.
Yeah,
makes
but
no sense, but why not?
we obviously want one more than the other. Like, who would want a toothless decoration? We clearly want the shield.
Obviously, yes, obviously. Shield's
Yeah.
so much cooler.
So, what are we putting on the Christmas tree this year? We are putting Toothless's prosthetic tail.
We're putting shields. Astrid, not again.
No. Hiccup will put shields. Astrid will put the axes.
That's true. You got me
She
there.
would just chop down the tree.
Okay, I found the tree. Hiccup, we need to cut it down. Oh, okay.
We? No, no, no. That's all you, Astrid.
You know what? Cutting the tree is too much of a work. Toothless, plasma blast, boom, good boy.
Fair enough.
Then there's no tree.
Yeah, really. Then there's splinters.
Well, as we clearly saw, Toothless has the power, probably has the power to control the impact of his blast, so he could
Hmm.
downplay it. But anyway, so we kind of talked about how this holiday is supposed to be Christmas, and it's pretty obvious. But there are some other traditions of the known holidays in there. Like obviously, there's the entire Easter thing with Astrid and the teens. With the eggs. That's Easter, and some would argue that the fact that the dragons are leaving to Dragon Island in order to lay eggs is kind of like the main season for them.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
It's Dragon's
Even though
Nesting, by the way, not Dragon Island.
was it? I thought it was Dragon Island. Huh. Ah, no. Actually, my bad. Dragon Island is the island of the Radet. Sorry,
Hmm.
got it confused. But anyway, yeah. Even though thinking about it now, Midnog did lay her eggs on Berk before leaving, so you could argue that it's not necessarily. You know what? I'm thinking way too much into it.
I would just ignore that one small part because that's a little bit that doesn't make sense if you look at mating patterns and everything else. Like that one's a little bit odd.
Hmm.
How did fish legs authorize it? Especially
Uh,
because it still thinks.
AC, we've been down a
Oh,
path
yeah,
of
yeah.
fish legs and meat lug, and that's
Okay, sorry.
something
You're going too
they
far
take
again.
it way too far. No, that's
Yeah,
past.
abort
That's
joke. I aborted the joke. No more.
yeah. But yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, it should be mating season, and if I remember correctly, I don't know if this was a fan fiction that I read or something like that they've just mentioned, in like an interview or say maybe even the Berk writers or not the writers of Berk, the the game that they have
Rise of
where
Bell?
yeah whatever online game it is they
It's
have
either Rise of Berk or
Rise,
School
yeah,
of Dragons.
or School of Dragons, one or the other. But like Hiccup said that they moved the dragons to their mating season is now on Berk, so they can share Snoggletog with their families,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
I can just imagine Hiccup telling all the dragons, okay, listen, we want to celebrate our holiday with you, so could you please hold on to your need to reproduce and do it at some other time, please?
Well, I think they had it like the underground place we saw in the second movie. That's where they have it now. I think the stables.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it makes sense since the eggs do explode.
Hmm.
yeah. What are they going to do with it? You know what? They probably have, like maybe they probably hiccups. How the eggs actually hatch, in a body of water. So maybe they just created a body of water. Go figure.
They just drop them in the ocean.
Yeah, no. Okay, so yeah, we're talking. So there's Easter, there's mating season, there's Christmas. Any other holidays you managed to pick in there?
No.
I mean, like I said before, like the actual the actual pagan holiday of Yule or Yuletide,
Are there any similarities?
That's the thing. Like, I don't, like, I would say, like, that's kind of the representation you could go for it because that's an actual, quote unquote Viking holiday as Yule or Yuletide. It's just, if you, small history lesson, Yuletide was what the Vikings and the Germanic people did celebrate before they became Christianized. So,
Hmm.
and then it switched over to Christmas. So, like, I would say that's kind of like the thing you could link it to the most as a again, a quote unquote Viking holiday. So, there's that. Are there any traditions that are similar? Honestly, I don't even know if we know enough about Yuletide, or at least I don't know enough about Yuletide to say right offhand by looking at this short.
I'm going to assume that dragons don't go to lay eggs in.
Although, isn't Snoggletog like a week long celebration or something?
Yeah, we are actually.
We'll get to that.
Well,
Yeah,
all right. Well, that's the one link you could say between Yuletide and Snoggletog is that Yuletide was also, I think, like a week long celebration as well.
hmm And before we move on, your opinions on Yaknog?
No.
I'm sure if it
Well,
was made by someone other than Aster,
yeah,
it
that's
might
something
taste good.
I want to ask. Do you think if somebody else tried making the recipe, would it actually be better?
Right.
We're talking. We actually tasted the damn thing, but
Eggnog isn't terrible, so maybe Yaknog wouldn't be terrible if it was made by someone who actually knew how to make things.
I'll take your word for it.
Although, I mean, again, yeah, if Yaknog is supposed to be similar to eggnog, you don't drink it because it tastes good. You drink it because you want to get drunk.
Or if you get
Probably.
the non-alcoholic, great. Now you got me saying it. Non-alcoholic eggnog, then you actually like it. I love me.
And you're a crazy person.
For some reason,
And it took you
I
just
want to
now to
see a
realize that.
for some reason I really want to see a Gordon Ramsay video where he makes it.
Pretty sure there's one out there.
Today we're going to make. I can do British. I can do Gordon Ramsay, and I won't insult him.
He'll insult you.
Mhm. You know what? Being insulted by Gordon Ramsay is one of my dreams. So
Just just take a picture of food that you've made on Twitter and at him.
yeah. Here's the problem. I didn't really make any food, but I'll try it. I'll try it. Anyway, so moving on. This is something I've been thinking about while when I said, "Well, what can we ask about Snoggletog?" I had this. So at least at the beginning, Snuggletog seemed to be like that time of year where the dragons are having babies, away from Berk. So do you think one of the origins for Snuggletog is that a time of year when the dragons don't attack Berk?
Yes. I
Yeah, I would agree.
absolutely yeah. No, it actually makes sense and it's really a really good idea that you've been thinking of. Like when I never thought of it until I saw it in the script. I'm like, wow, that actually makes sense.
True.
Because let's think about this. They've been fighting for 300, or if you're following the weird race to the edge, almost 400 years for dragons. Why
By the
wouldn't
time,
they like a reprieve of, yeah, a week or 2 weeks reprieve of that? Oh man, you definitely are going to be thankful.
like because notice that in the first movie, the at the end of one of the days, they seem to Gabriel seems to have like an indication on when there are no attacks for the night. So maybe they just caught on to the fact and said, you know what, it's in the winter. Also, it's winter, so they probably figure that if they're not sailing during the winter, the dragons aren't necessarily flying.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's something I thought about. I thought about while thinking about it all. Wolf, what do you have to say?
I mean, like Rush said, I think it's actually a really good idea that never crossed my mind, but does make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, that's probably exactly like you could look at it and say, like, yeah, that's probably exactly why that holiday came up for the Vikings on Berk because they had like a week or 2 week long reprieve of no attack. So they just decided to use that as a time to celebrate and have fun and merriment. Why not?
Yeah, because there's also the line in Gift of the Night Fury where Stoic says, it says to Gaber, Vikings celebrating with dragons. What would our fathers say? Because their fathers probably celebrated that time of year because there were no dragons for
Hmm.
2 weeks. And then as soon as the holiday ends, there's a dragon attack. Well, back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Great. One revelation that they agree with me, and then they don't laugh at my jokes. I live a sad, sad existence.
You're trying.
You should expect this by
We'll give you
now.
that.
We've always been not laughing at your jokes.
Mm, not always, but well, can't win it all. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so here's another thing I've been thinking about. The holiday takes place during 2 weeks of continual night. And in the longest day, there's this entire 2 weeks of continual day or something. So, do you think there's a connection there in terms of the holidays?
I don't know if they. Well, I guess yeah, the longest day. They they have that as a holiday. The thing is, like, it would make sense too that I mean, this happens like in more extremes in parts of the world where it's instead of 2 weeks, it's like a month of complete darkness and a month of complete light.
Hello, Antarctica.
Yeah, exactly. It would make sense that if you had one, you had the other, just at the opposite time of year, which they do. One is summer, one is winter. Um, I mean, I know that's not always the case, right? Because Earth orbit is not, science, right? Earth orbit is not correct, not completely circle, so it's not always this. You don't always have similarities like that, but it makes sense that it would happen. I don't know if it has a connection like traditionally to that. I think it just has an idea like, oh, since there's 2 days of or 2 weeks of night, there's 2 weeks of day. But
Yeah, in Snoggletog, you get drunk. In well, what was the name of the in the longest day? What was its name again?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to remember that too.
In Snuggletog, you get drunk. On the longest day, you're hungover. There you go. That's pretty much the yin and the yang of these
I
holidays.
mean, have you seen Astrid? I don't know about that.
Good point. Good point.
If that's her hungover, I don't want to know what she's like drunk.
Yeah. And Tough Nuts starts saying everything as a big chicken, so I don't want to know what his drunk is like. Actually, something I just thought about, not related to The Longest Day, but actually to Snuggletug. So at Gift of, in Gift of the Night Fury, Astrid kind of invents this tradition of giving eggs to the people and dragon eggs to the people. Let's assume the eggs didn't explode. Okay, let's assume that became a tradition on Berk. Okay, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to the people who listen to us, who like crossing over How to Train a Dragon with Rise of the Guardians, just as a joke, nothing serious coming out of this. Do you guys think that Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny from Rise of the Guardians are actually in competition over Berk at this time of year?
No.
Thank you, Rush, for killing off the fun.
I just haven't seen Rise of the Guardians, so asking me that question, Wolf, have you seen Rise of the Guardians?
It's been a while, but yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to say no too.
Okay, just something I'll
Always
bring
a
up.
dreamer.
It's not necessarily a dreamer, just, I thought about something while looking up. I went to corners of the internet that some of you don't want to visit. And sometimes I'm not sure why I visited them, but that's another story. Anyway, another question I thought about, since Toothless went to bring Hiccup's helmet back to him in Gift of the Night Fury, does he usually go to Dragon Island during that time? What do you guys think? And can the answer be a little bit more elaborated than yes or no, Wash?
Hey, my answers are only to your off-script questions. No, you've only had two, but that are ridiculous.
The answer's no.
Yeah, the answer is
Point
no.
eight.
Yeah, can it
You
be elaborated? No. So I think that despite there not being any recorded other Night Furies, right? I think that Toothless does go because I feel like it's more of an instinctual thing than it is oh, I have a mate, let's go there. Because now this is taking the view that, remember, Meatlug already had her babies and she still went. So that's why I think Toothless would go, because I feel like it's something that they do regardless of either having babies or having a mate. So
Yeah, because also when the dragons are leaving, you could see that he wants to go, but then again, it's not necessarily clear if he wants to go in order to find Hiccup's helmet or just to join the other
And
dragons.
then also to also put it into perspective as well. After, I feel like it's like an initial feeling of wanting to go because you could see, oh, Toothless got self-flight. Why didn't he go in the end? Because I think like he already missed his opportunity, so it's like he doesn't feel the need to go anymore. That's just one way of putting it, I guess.
You could, yeah, I would say no, he doesn't normally go. But again, like the question I think you would have to ask is, one thing you kind of have to establish is, how long has Toothless been around Berk? Like, has he been around long enough with the dragon raids and everything to have the chance to go there before? The movie's never inherently, like, even, nothing from the movie or the shorts is inherently clear enough to state that Toothless has been around for a long time or a short amount of time.
Well, considering the fact that he's the same age as Hiccup, it probably means he's 15 at that time.
I mean, what I mean, though, is like, looking at the flashback from the second movie, it seems like Toothless may not have originally been a part of the raids when Hiccup was first born. Now, again, you could argue that's just something they didn't focus on. Maybe he was, we just didn't see it because they didn't focus on it. But
I think these are probably some of the questions How to Train Dragon 3 is going to try and answer.
Possibly. And if so, this entire conversation could change. But I would say no, he doesn't, simply because looking at how he's interacting with Stormfly, that seems less of a I want to go to and more of a hey, where you headed? Okay, now I know thing, maybe to a degree. Maybe he wants to go because the entire group, the entire, flock, I guess you would say, is going. But I don't think it's something he's inherently as interested in, simply because he maybe has no reason to be. I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
So we're sorry, I stand the kill. Toothless and Stormfly aren't having any lover chat during that scene. We're sorry. And Rush is probably dancing because of what I just said.
Oh my god.
You see, he's not responding, which means he's...
I actually had the mic muted because I was coughing really badly. So.
Well...
I had both mics muted, so don't worry, you won't hear it in the video.
Anyway, so last question, do you think we'll ever see Snoggletog again in the canon? Because right now, Gabber mentioned that a few times in Race to the Edge, but we haven't exactly saw it. We never saw it again after Gift of the Night Fury.
I mean, if you look at it from, like, not a story or canon thing, just from a, like, animation we make for business perspective thing, then I don't think we'll ever see it again unless it's something the show does.
Comcast.
Simply because...
Comcast. They might.
True. But, like, I don't think it'll be something we see just because they've already done their Christmas holiday, so I don't think they'll do their quote-unquote Christmas holiday, so I don't think they'll do another animation for a quote-unquote Christmas holiday. So I don't think we'll see any kind of animation for it again, but unless it's from Race to the Edge, maybe. Though, again, Comcast might decide to do something with it again as well, so it's possible.
Yeah, because actually thinking about it, just because you have one Christmas special doesn't mean you can't have another one. I mean, a lot of shows have 2 Christmas specials, so.
But I mean, go ahead.
There's this, but another idea. I just literally saw this today on Tumblr. I don't remember who made this. That it could be interesting, if not a bit sad, to see the Hiccups versus Snoggletog without Stuart.
Mm-hmm. And with Valka, so that could be interesting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first one with his mother, but at the same time the first one without his father. That could actually be
a bit sad and a bit happy. Yeah, definitely. I'd be interested in watching that.
Mm-hmm.
Fan fiction writers, go ahead. You know what?
They
I
probably
actually
already
think
have. Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
sure.
I believe I read
There's
one.
been like a couple Tumblr posts recently too that have been like, it's like, this is gonna be the first. This is gonna be the first Snuggletog that Hiccup doesn't wake up the Stoic fixing the house or something. And
Oh,
obviously the replies are, thanks for making me, like remember to be depressed today or something.
Thanks for the tears.
Yeah,
Thanks
exactly.
for making me cry.
It's okay. I didn't
Thanks
want
for
to make you
making me
happy
sad
today
today.
the
anyway.
heartbreak.
I didn't want to be happy today.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, that could actually be an interesting thing to do with Snuggletug in like, you know what? Not maybe in the graphic novels, though I'm not sure about this because seeing where they're going for now with with the novels, I'm not sure about this. But yeah, maybe a Race to the Edge episode. Do you think we could probably squeeze it into Race to the Edge as like an actual holiday and not just a mention?
I think they could if they wanted to, but I don't know if they will. But yeah, I think they could.
Let's you know what? Let's make a big Snuggletug episode with all the characters. Like they'll have Dagger and Heather there, all the defenders of the wing. You know what? Let's even invite Vigo to the celebration.
And let's bring back crap. Vigo's
bring-
brother.
Riker?
Yes, Riker. I can't remember his name.
In Snuggletug,
Or Riker.
we the
Let's bring
people
him back to
from
life
the
too.
dead.
Yeah. Let's bring Riker back as well. Back from the dead. See his ghost there. Celebrating as well.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, Riker. You're so unimportant that I forgot your name.
And you know what? He's out of the two brothers, he's the one that would most likely survive his condition at the end of season 4. But whatever. But anyway, yeah. Anything else you want to say about Snuggletug before we close this merry episode?
No, I mean it was part of the greatest short. I really do hope we see it again. I found it really enjoyable. I mean, even if it's not a short, or maybe like HC said, if you can see it in the graphic novels or something like that, or at least part of it. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I hope we do.
Like
see it
a
again.
story that takes place within it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or it is Snoggletog, but something happens, so they have to go off during it. Blah blah. Blah. I don't know.
There's some kind of reference at the very least.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably always get like another reference or something. Was it HC or you, Wolf, that said how Gobber brings it up a couple of times?
It was HC.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Guys, I just have an idea which I lost on the point on the spot, and I'm trying to figure out what it was. What did I want to say about Snuggletug? Man, this is embarrassing. I had something I wanted to say, and I forgot it.
Well, while he's figuring it out, yeah, I'll definitely say it was a cool short. It was an enjoyable short. And it was probably, I would argue, definitely my favorite short out of the bunch. And I enjoyed most of them. But this is definitely the best one. And just because of what it does. And just because of how simple it is, but how neat it is, And Snoggletog's a really cool holiday to bring up and kind of create. Yeah, it's definitely Christmas, but with a small Viking few changes for, Berk and all that. But it was still neat. It was still fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and I would love to see them do something with it again in the future if they decide to.
Okay, I remembered what I wanted to say. Okay. So at the end of Gift of the Night Fury, there's the famous line which I already said that I really, really like, that Hiccup says, like, that year I gave my best friend a pretty great gift, he gave me a better one. What do you think he said that year? So what do you think the Snuggletugs after it were? Like, okay, Toothless, what do you got for me?
A lick.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
this year Toothless took the greatest gift from my life.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's the best gift. Yeah, like, hey, This year, Toothless took away the best. Yeah.
The best thing about yeah.
Last year, hey, great, perfect line. Last year, Toothless gave me an even better gift. This year, Toothless gave me a really crummy gift.
Yeah. Toothless isn't the best gift giver.
It's hard to top last year. I will admit that, but he could have maybe not blown up my dad.
Toothless thought it was a great gift giving me chiefdom, but I don't think he really understood me.
You're welcome.
Toothless, when I use the figure of speech, I want to kill my dad. I didn't actually mean it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think Hiccup tried to give Toothless as a gift in other Snoggletogs, with the exception of, because, the tail is obviously something Toothless doesn't want. What? He gave him fish.
A new saddle. The ability to fly, to hover, to glide on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave him the wingsuit on the... Okay, listeners, I have a challenge for you. Write the 12 days of Christmas with How to Train a Dragon.
Good Lord.
Oh, no. Dear listeners, we're sorry.
If someone actually went on and did it, I guess he or she will just have fun with it. So, sorry, not sorry.
I know what he gave Toothless after How to Train Your Dragon 2 as a gift for Snoggletog.
What?
A stern talking to.
Or that, or a book about what sarcasm means.
So you killed your best friend's father. How to cope book.
You know what? What do you think Valka would give Hiccup on her first Snuggle? You know what? Let's try and actually have fun with this. What would Valka give Hiccup on Snoggletog?
Dragon teeth. She's been away from civilization too long. She doesn't know what gift to give her son. She also doesn't even know what her son likes. So that's why I'm going with dragon teeth.
I give you Cloud Jumper.
I don't think
Hiccup.
I give you a parrot for the holiday because I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or better yet, no, she would just leave during Snuggletog.
Right.
That's her gift. No parrots. Enjoy.
Hiccup's gift to Eret on Snuggletog. I give you a trap.
But only the trapper's trap can trap the trapper.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine I want to say Vigo. Wow, that's embarrassing. Do you think Eret will try and hunt people with the exploding eggs? Like that will be as a hunting strategy?
It would be a very poor one.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Any other gift ideas from people from a character to a character? No, okay, I'm not getting it.
Sorry, I muted the mic again.
Raj probably curses me while the mic is muted because how dare he puts improvised stuff that's not on the script. I can't think about this on the spot.
No,
you see, he does it again.
Because I have a bad cough. I told you that.
Mm-hmm. I will choose to believe you. But anyway, is this anything we have to say about Snoggletog? I think that's pretty much it. We covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's been all for this episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoy. Happy Snoggletog and everything else you celebrate. We hope we could be here for the next Snoggletog. So until next episode, I was HC.
I was Rush.
I've been Wolf.
Happy Snoggletog, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you want to celebrate. And
Merry holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
And we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Goodbye.
Okay.